Hi there, I'm Zoot Java. Today I'd like to talk about Joe Rogan annihilating, basically, Sanjay Gupta, who is the head of the medical department for CNN. And if you go below, I'm going to have a pinned comment where you can click on there and watch the clip of Rogan tearing him apart. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please uh, go below and there's going to be links to click on for alternate sites that I have because YouTube is out to get me. They've already taken my account down once and I've had to fight to get it back. And no matter what site you're on, please give me a like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thank you very much. Now, Joe Rogan had Sanjay Gupta on his show for, I think, 3 hours. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I must admit, I got to give it to Gupta for going on there. And he had a lot of guts to actually go on there, and he was he was destroyed. Rogan pinned him down and made him agree that CNN had lied about him taking horse dewormer when he said that he had ivermectin, and ivermectin is a drug company. Let's face it, they make more than anything money. So drug companies will make drugs for anything. So they make drugs for humans, they make drugs for animals. So there is one that is taken for animals that they have, and there's one that is for humans. And of course, Joe Rogan was prescribed by his doctor ivermectin for humans, of course. However, you go to the mainstream media and CNN especially, and they all said he's taking horse dewormer, animal drugs. Yeah, it's out there where they said this. Now, why would they say something like this? Well, the biggest reason that I can see is that Joe Rogan has got the biggest podcast on the planet. Why would this bother them? Well, basically because he gets more traffic to his show than any one of those individuals do. He beats them all, hands down. Therefore, more clicks. So, one guy sitting in his little studio that he set up drives more traffic towards his show than a multi-million-dollar media organization can manage to get to their own. So, given the chance, they'll do anything they can to give dirty shots to Rogan and try and get people to stop watching his show and start watching their stuff. The problem is, as Rogan will, if you watch the clip or have watched the clip, Rogan is proven by saying to Gupta, they knew that they were giving out basically false news. They knew they were not reporting the truth. Why would they do such a thing? If you look at it, they manipulated all kinds of wording, I think, to try and get their way out of it in a legal standpoint. But if you watch what they're saying, you're led to believe that Joe Rogan took horse dewormer. That's basically what it all boils down to. And the problem with this for them now is that so many of them came out and said it because they were doing it, is that Joe just might sue them. And it could be very embarrassing above anything else. The problem was, of course, after him being on there, they had to do major league damage control. So they went out there and doubled down on their garbage about Rogan taking horse dewormer. So it was pretty bad, the fact that they would do such a thing. Rather than apologize and try and squirm out of it, this is what they did. To be quite honest, I figure that instead of pushing political agendas all the time, if these people who call themselves journalists, because a journalist would look into this, a journalist would have said, ivermectin does make a horse dewormer. They also make human drugs. They would have made the disconnection when they would be reporting this, if they were actual journalists. But they were just out to torpedo him so that they can get more clicks. That's all they were interested in. Now, the thing is, had they just gone out, like all the time, had they just gone out, and instead of making everything an opinion piece, had they just gone out and reported the news as it happened without their slant on everything, maybe they would get more traffic. But how can you trust a news network that consistently will hand you a pack of lies and get away with it? And instead of apologizing to this guy after slandering him, basically, defaming him, rather than do that, they double down on it. They think they're going to get away with this? Do they not think that a man who was offered $100 million to do his podcast doesn't have enough money to bring a half-decent lawyer against them, even though they're a multi-million-dollar corporation? It can happen, and they can really be embarrassed by that. But that's not how they're going to deal with it. I have a bit of a problem myself, a bit of an issue with this happening, in that this was information that they were putting up as medical information. Joe Rogan took this, it was medicine, it was given to him or prescribed to him by his doctor. Therefore, this is medical information that they were reporting on. They knew damn well that he did not take horse dewormer, and yet that's the one that they reported that he took, as if they knew when you've got ivermectin for humans and ivermectin for animals, they would automatically assume that he would take the one for animals. Then if that's the case, there's something really wrong with them, and they should be taken down for that. However, as I said, medical information, they misreported it. I had my channel taken down on YouTube for medical misinformation, when all I was doing was reporting on things using the facts that were available at the time. And they took it down. I had to fight them back with it to get my channel back by telling them this. And I also told them, how is it that the news networks get away basically with murder by saying anything that they want? Because they do. And this is pure proof of that. Rogan gets Sanjay Gupta, their medical guy, to admit to this on his show. So my whole point behind this is, if they're reporting things like that, and it was more than one of the reporters that put it out there, is that not medical misinformation? And with it being medical misinformation, should they not have their entire platform taken down? Because that is the reason that they took down my channel. Albeit a tiny little channel, insignificant, and there's this monster that they do nothing but promote. That's not the point. The reason they said they took me down is because they have a duty to make sure that the YouTube community is safe for everyone. And by safe, in my case, they meant safe against medical misinformation, which, as I pointed out, was only information that I used according to the information that was available by reputable sources at the time. So I think that they should have their channel taken down. Because when you get your channel taken down for something like this, it's gone for good. That's what I was told. When they took my channel down, they said, that's it. Your channel's gone forever, and you can't start another one up. That's what I was told. And I feel that they should get the same thing. I think Joe Rogan should really push for that more than anything. But, you know, that's just me. Maybe he wants to hit them hard money-wise with a lawsuit. I don't know. Maybe do both. That would be a wonderful thing. Absolutely wonderful to see them losing millions of dollars in a lawsuit and then have their channel taken down from YouTube. I think that would be appropriate. Absolutely perfect. Anyways, now it's time for my really bad joke. And it involves a soldier. So he was out in battle. He survived a mustard gas attack, and he survived pepper spray, and now he's a seasoned veteran. Anybody realize, you know what I'm talking about there? Seasoned veteran? Oh well. Thank you anyways. Until later, have a Java on Zoom.